Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to the night shift. This camera looks a little bit off, doesn't it? How are you? How you be? Como estas? All the greetings you can think of. Welcome to the night shift. How you doing? I want to say big ups to each and every one locked in right now. Whether you tuned in from Florida, right here in warm South Florida, on kevinstew.com, on rockthebox.net, on PEMG TV, on TuneIn Radio, on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, or rockthebox.net, or One Harmony Radio, or the Foundation Radio Network with Clinton Lindsay. Any means by which you log on, welcome to the show. I want to say... I've missed you guys. I've missed you. I feel like I haven't been on forever. I almost don't even know how to operate the studio. But in the midst of it all, Aaron Duncan says, better days are coming. When I say big ups to our first guest in the chat room, guest number 995. Early greetings to the man who'll be co-hosting with me tonight. The one who does it not each and every, but most Tuesday nights. The one and only Sean Garrity. Big ups to you, Sean. Say good evening, Sean.
Good evening, Sean.
There you go. Proud of you. I want to say thanks to Pulse Media Group for sponsoring this initial segment of the show. When being in the moment is priceless, we want to give them a call. If you just want to capture the moment, or if you want to stream the moment, or if you want to have a moment just like this one that you're watching right here, right now, the Pulse Media Group can make it happen for you. Give them a call, 754-999-6020. Tell them DJ Kevin Stew sent you. There are better days ahead. What doesn't kill you, they say makes you strong. But sometimes that is a little bit questionable. Especially on a night like this when we talk about health and things that may affect it. This would have been easy on your way. You might come across some troubles on your journey. So those who missed me last night, I really had to take care of some things with regards to the pageant coming up this weekend. Yes, the Miss Jamaica pageant. Miss Jamaica Florida pageant, sorry. Let's not mix up the two. If you haven't gotten your ticket yet, please look about getting it. And for those of you who are asking, yes, I will be co-hosting Miss Jamaica Florida 2018. Better days are coming, better days are coming, better days. So Sean, how do you feel about the whole idea that what doesn't kill you will make you stronger?
What doesn't kill you make
No, I didn't ask you
Boy,
how
I
you
don't.
feel about the song. I just, boy, you can't
Oh,
ask a DJ nothing without them breaking into song.
sing, sing a song.
See what I mean?
What don't kill you? What you?
Well, they said that too, right?
I want to. What I say is that
Yeah.
if it don't, talk to me, talk to me. Even like kill his body. What you did say?
If it doesn't kill you, it make you stronger.
Oh, okay.
But I grew up hearing if it doesn't kill you, it make you fatter.
Yeah. So the foreign version that.
Wait, which one of the foreign version?
The if you don't kill it, make you stronger.
Oh, okay. Well, the two could be the same. A lot of times, being bigger usually translate to being stronger.
I want to fat and forgotten.
Right.
Mm.
Oh, I'm gonna turn up some
I
more.
don't.
Yeah,
I get the first part, but it's hard to say yes. It's hard and fast because the purpose of ingestion or consumption is to make you stronger, to make you stay alive.
right.
But then too much of a good thing can also be a bad thing.
Or too much of one thing not good for you.
Yeah, too much of any one thing not good for you. So it's hard to say, man.
Yeah, that one
All
is
I
a little
gotta
bit of a
say,
toss up. Tonight,
yeah.
tonight, I want to encourage everybody, as usual, to use up the contact. Use up the phone line 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. You can call, you can text. Use up the chat room, kevinstew.com. Use it up, use it up, use it up. If we're connected by way of Facebook, you can use up instant messenger. Yeah, you can call on it if you are in a place where you can't make a direct phone call, but you can make a Facebook phone call, a messenger phone call. Go ahead, use up. If we're connected that way, use it. Not a problem. I'll take those calls too, and I take messages on Facebook also. All right. So, Sean,
Yeah.
first of all, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing really good, really strong. I'm feeling good. The weekend was a good weekend, and everything is just all good. In the neighborhood, so it's good to be good, and that's good things happen to good people. So everything is good.
Okay, good. All right. So, I might ask you now because tonight's show was inspired.
Uh-huh.
Tell me the inspiration. Because this was a little bit of a discussion that we had earlier um, about which one we were going to decide to do tonight. So,
Um,
what was the inspiration?
the inspiration was, I think it was last night. We were at a dinner, a success dinner of sorts, and what happened was, we're talking about some things that people do that they don't realize that they're hurting themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and that they don't realize that you know there was also a video that I watched that talked about the compound effect. Right, the compound effect is the buildup of any one thing over time, the repetition of any one action over time.
Right.
So when I watched that video, the gentleman who presented that video was Darren Hardy. The compound effect. If you're listening, it's a good listen, a good watch. In tomorrow morning, when you're going to work, it takes the average person 25 minutes to get to work in Broward County. So if you're traveling to work tomorrow morning, or when you're on your way to work tomorrow morning, when you're in your car, just look it up from now, and then you'll listen to it after you get up in the morning and you're driving to work. So he talks about the compound effect, what it means to keep doing something over and over and over, and what it will do eventually.
Right.
for you. So in the same light, what we don't understand as human beings or consumers in this part of the world, the things that we do, the things that are happening around us, they're impacting our bodies in ways that we don't even see. And
Mm-hmm.
over time, all this stuff impacts us, and when it hits us, sometimes it's often too late that we realize it.
Right.
And on this show, I think I've said it before. Someone doesn't know they're sick until they're sick, and a lot of times you're actually sick way before you show that you're actually sick
Mm-hmm.
because it's manifesting itself. It's building, and it just manifests itself like, bam, what up?
Right.
Because how many times have we heard of person just being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer?
Yeah, like
How do you
it
just
just jumps up at you and becomes stage 4.
how do you just get to stage 4? So clearly there's something that were not being done leading up to that, so forth. I mean, there are things you can do to lessen, reduce the impacts. I don't know if you could stop it per se, but if you're not doing the things that should help you, then you're obviously going to be hurting yourself. So that's pretty much where that inspiration came from, between watching that video, being in that meeting yesterday in the evening, and it just came to mind that, maybe we should talk about this tonight.
Right. Without going, all right. Actually, let me not take it from that angle. What would you say would be one of the things that we do just because either we're being told that that is what we're supposed to do, or that is what we're forced to do? Because I know one that is on my list, and it has always been on my list ever
You know,
since
give me an idea what you're thinking. Let me see if it's the same thing I'm thinking.
when I
Instead of your
started
list there.
seeing a chiropractor back
Okay.
in, I would have to say it had to have been about 2008.
Uh-huh.
We had a discussion, my chiropractor and I, my then chiropractor and I. And my first son, was about 2. And we talked about him getting vaccinated. And vaccinations have been an issue for me ever since we had that eye-opening conversation, him and I. Because he exposed me to something that I never really thought about.
Uh-huh.
So for me, vaccinations is one of those things that is way up there on the list
Uh-huh.
as something that we do continuously, repetitively, that
Uh-huh.
really harms us. Another one is, and we did a show on this recently. Well, we did a few shows, a couple shows on it, back to back. We did additives, and it is whether it is food additives or it is additives to products that we use.
Uh-huh.
So, consumable products on a whole, whether
Yeah.
food or cleaning, deodorizing, sanitizing, whichever.
Uh-huh.
So, those are my main things.
Mm. All right. So my one thing that jumps up, it has to do with diet, and it's the use of bread, white bread in our Jamaican households.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, because no matter what, no matter how broke you are,
Mm-hmm.
once you have bread, chances are you have butter. So you're nice.
All right.
Yeah, so bread can go with anything. Hot
Right.
and saltfish,
Mm-hmm.
bully beef,
Mm-hmm.
chicken,
Yeah.
fish,
Right.
salmon. You get the picture.
Right. Right.
But it's that bread that we use constantly that creates the issue. Because I learned something about white flour the other day, that it's the most stripped form of whole wheat.
Yeah.
So break down whole wheat to this white powder and sell it because it's cheaper, and they can mass produce that bread. That bread also has a longer shelf life because they put the additives in that we're talking about
Right.
that give it a shelf life.
Mm-hmm.
I recall purchasing a loaf of bread. It was the raisin bread, and I used to eat it a lot. And then one time, a friend of mine said to me, "Look how long you've had this bread in your house." I'm gonna steal.
That friend used to come at your house very often.
Well, I didn't really want to say a certain type of friend, but just a friend, you know.
All right. We leave it right there.
So yeah, we'll leave it right there. So when I look at this, I'm gonna say, Jano, I real thing, you know. So I'm gonna stop eating the bread there
Right.
because it not steal.
Yeah.
People, if the food you eat is not turning stale, it cannot be good for you. Um, it's the same thing with certain things that are left exposed. If ants not take it up, if worm not take it up, that means they no good.
All right. As you mentioned that, you used to work in the fast food industry.
Mm,
You've mentioned it time and time again on the show.
mm,
I have heard the story of the McDonald's, I think it was a kids meal
uh-huh.
that was put down and it was just there.
Yep.
Ants didn't take it. Flies didn't
Yeah.
bother it. In fact, it didn't even decay. No, true story or just old wives' tale?
There have been several experiments documented that shows that this food does not break down in your system as it should,
Mm-hmm.
right? So expelling it is the issue. That's why when the guy did, there was a guy who did an experiment and he ate just McDonald's for like 4 weeks or 6 weeks, and he gained like so much weight.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember the name of that experiment. You know, with my car. Rotate. My car, shut down, brother.
That's not good.
Yeah. So
Well,
why are you blowing me? My thing is on.
see, this is live radio for you, ladies and gentlemen. Live radio and TV.
Yeah.
Live multimedia. Let's call it that. All right. Here's what I'll do for you, Shad. I'll let you kind of sort that out a little bit,
Yes, brother.
and you just shout me back.
No, man, I'm back.
Oh, that was a quick fix.
No, I don't know what happened. That's the thing about the technology now
Yeah.
and where life is. We can do these shows from almost anywhere.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
And it just goes to show also the vast amount of knowledge, the vast knowledge that you have,
Mm.
because you just presenting the information just off the top of your noggin.
So, what was that?
Yeah, because you name Sean Garrity. But yeah, um, the food, I've heard of that experiment, and it's quite interesting, but not surprising.
Uh,
And the more I do, especially this show, and research material and come across these readings and these findings, it's the more I realize how much we're killing ourselves slowly.
yep.
And it's all
Yeah.
because of a few people pulling the strings. They're pulling the pharmaceutical strings, they're pulling the advertising strings, they're pulling the fast food strings, they're pulling the fertilizer strings, Just a few people. And you can never quite pinpoint who the main characters are. And that's the part that's really scary. Because when I was doing my research for tonight's show, incidentally, we haven't touched on anything that I have researched for my show yet. For tonight's, on my side, for tonight's show yet. Because for those who saw my post, you can see that it has something to do with vaccinations. And I will touch on some of those vaccinations. So this show will probably be a two-part show because Sean has to go in about half an hour. But before we go off on this first commercial break, this first, housekeeping break, vaccinations is one of those things that as I mentioned before, it's an issue. And it's an issue because of the things that have changed in the world of vaccinations. And with the research that I did for this show, I've found a lot more information than I needed to present for one night show. But the starting point would be simply this, as it relates to vaccines. In the 1950s, a child was given about 5 vaccines by the time they reached age 6. 5. Now, today, as we speak, a child will have about 68 vaccines by the time they're 18. So, in the 50s, you get 5. And that pretty much apparently took you up to your age 18. But now, kids are getting vaccinated at birth. Now, what kind of good can a vaccination do to a being at birth? I don't know. Because as I had also learned from my second chiropractor, because the first one moved away, so my current chiropractor, who is just an awesome, awesome person. And for years, she was my co-host for this show. But responsibilities with teaching and such took her away. But Dr. Janice Stone made it abundantly clear. The first 2 years of life for an individual, the best thing for that individual, that child, that infant, is mother's breast milk. Not any vaccinations. But no, in the first year of life, I was looking at the vaccination schedule. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Again, I don't know. I had it here.
It's almost every 6 weeks.
Well, I don't even need the schedule. You can tell us. You can
I'm
tell
just
us.
like, I personally didn't like it. I still don't like it. And sad thing for me is I'm not fully aware of sourcing. And the most anybody could tell me is that, oh well, you won't be able to go to school and integrate, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, so you're doing this so I could socialize and make friends. So I always need to find that, So
Yeah. In the first 3 months of life, there is hepatitis B, rotavirus, diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis. Um, they want to give the influenza, pneumococcal, uh, and polio in the first 3 months of life. Now, if that is not an issue, I don't know what is. But we'll get into that part a little bit later. At this point, we should take a quick little break, do some housekeeping. But 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. I want to welcome you guys to the show, those who are just tuning in. Welcome to the chat room, welcome to the feed, the broadcast feed, or rather on TuneIn, the Night Shift to DJ, Kevin Stew, RockTheBox.net, One Harmony Radio, the Foundation Radio Network with Clinton Lindsay, or any other affiliate station carrying this show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you. PEMG TV, KevinStew.com. That's where you go to watch live and in living color what's happening right now. Sean, we're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we'll talk some more. Things that we're doing that I'd say we're doing it as habit or because we're forced to do it, but are more harm than good. And for me, those things for tonight really center around vaccines. And I have some information to present you because it's vaccine time again. School, summer is coming to an end and it's a new school year that is upon us. And one of the requirements of schools in the US is that you must be vaccinated before your child can go to school. And I just want to present some information about these vaccinations. But I'll wait till Sean presents the rest of his before I present mine. All right, so we'll be back after these few messages. Sean, don't go anywhere. Well, no, especially since your car start back. Don't go anywhere. Let's stay right here. All right, we'll be right back.
Policy Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsing Media Group.
Are you crazy about the music industry? You aspire to hit it big in music? Or maybe you've sweated out a soulful killer beat and are now stuck finding it's not as easy as it looked. Oh, but it can be easy for you with JTMC. We've been there. We know how it feels. So we solve challenges like production, promotion, marketing, branding and development, and more. With over 30 years of experience, JTMC is a one-stop shop for artists. We handle your graphic design, writing services, PR, as well as event planning, e-blasts, artist management, and bookings, so also your website and social media needs as well. We're experts in using creativity to persuade audiences on behalf of artists. drawing on our diverse experience to create projects that connect with audiences intellectually and emotionally. Artist success is everything to us, and our years of experience and commitment will be behind you for every one of your needs. If you've got music for the world to hear, whether you're a new or established artist, visit us at jtmcenterprise.com.
Hey Dad, how do you throw a curveball? How do you build a fort? How do refrigerators run? How do fish learn how to swim?
Kids ask a lot of questions.
How high can you jump?
But you don't have to know every answer.
How many phone numbers are there?
Because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent.
How do cell phones work?
There are thousands of children in foster care who don't need every question answered.
What's electricity?
They just need you.
What's the moon made of?
For more information on how you can adopt, go to adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Early start for a long hot summer, but beat the heat with a dash of lemongrass refresher. This cool thirst quencher is a low-sugar beverage made from the fevergrass plant, which has antioxidants, several wellness properties, and is a great lifestyle drink for all ages. Ah, that hits the spot. It's a new great taste. Have one today. Dash Lemongrass Refresher, distributed by Cab Atlantic Distributors. Call 954-614-0919. That's 954-614-0919. Life's a dash. Live well.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
It's Christina representing for DJ Kevin. You see me, I say, I don't know the boss. You see me, I say, DJ Kevin's Chew and the night shift radio show. Yo, the thing, turn up the thing loud. Whoa, DJ Kevin's Chew at the heart of a champion. Never underestimate, just choose him. The silver line beyond the dark clouds. DJ Kevin's Chew, believe him, and that's no doubt. Salute the night shift radio show, Christina. It's a hot it up. Loud. Kill the beat.
Yes. Are you ready? Are you ready? Gonna lift my voice in praises. Gonna shout it, go sing it loud. Up in the morning I say my prayer. Thank you, Father, for another day. Let you clear it right away. I'm alive, yes, I'm alive. My money in the bank, oh no rent. Here I am, still give thanks. Ask me how, I don't know, I ain't no bro. But I'm alive, yeah, I'm alive. I see the sun and I see the rain, yeah. I feel joy in my Father's name. A tear might fall every now and then. I still give thanks to the full extent. Yes, now up in the morning I say my prayer. Thank you, Father, for another day. Let me clear it right away. I'm alive, yes, I'm alive. Man, I'm in the back of no rank, but here I am. Still give thanks. Ask me how, I don't know, I ain't no pro, but I'm alive, yes, I'm alive. I can walk without fear or doubt, yeah. Go to sleep with little to worry about. I do know there's danger everywhere, yeah. So I pray, dear Father, always be near. Up in the morning I say my prayer. Thank you, Father, for another day. Let me declare it right away. I'm alive.
Up in the morning, I say my prayer. Thank you, Father, for one more day. Let me declare it right away. Son of Beresford Hammond. Track called I'm Alive.
Challenge your day with an open mind. Just in a way, Judge, I would design. No, I will falter, but in time, I will grow, I will grow. Can't be too old to be taught. Can even learn something from the youth. Give a little nod if you know the truth. Hey, hey.
Numbers to call, numbers to text to get you in touch. 773-789-7839. Hey, good evening, 6921. Good evening, 463. I'm alive, and I hope so are you. This segment of the show is brought to you courtesy of GMAC Music Solutions. The ever lovely, oh so gifted, easy on the eyes, Melissa Lady song. Good evening, sis. My sister from another mister. It's Healthy Love. And with me, the one and only Mr. Sean Garrity. Well, on a night like tonight, it's the honorary Dr. Sean. Yeah. We have given him his doctorate. So that only means that it is effective nowhere else but here. 773-789 Stu gets you in touch, or you can jump on over into the chat room, kevinstew.com, and be interactive. Let's chit chat. Let's share. Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know you've been busy, Melissa. I know you've been busy, Lady Song. I know you've been very busy. But glad you could squeeze in a little bit of us tonight. Sean.
Mm-hmm.
So, from this video that you were talking about earlier,
mm-hmm.
what were some of the things that they were talking about that were these regular use things that cause more harm than good? Or was there something in addition to that which came to mind?
You know, when I saw the video that we're talking about, you know, I think the title is like why people are getting sick and dying every day. Is we're not understanding what disease, disorder is. And if you look at those two words, it's written in two simple pieces. Disease or disorder.
Right.
So cells work in a particular order in terms of how they interact with each other, how they combine with food, how they move with transporting fluids, minerals, and so forth throughout the body, and what they do in terms of energy for the body, repair for the body, you know, strengthening of the body. So there's a certain order to that. And whenever we introduce unnatural things like processed foods or too much processed foods, too much additives in the air, smog, carbon dioxide, you know, the charge, the radiation from the phone, all these things that we do, even what we're doing right now.
Right.
The stressors of life, you know, because now I have to go work and I have to work for a man and this and that, you know.
Yeah.
All these things create disorder in the body. When disorder keeps happening, of course, something's going to break. You know, like I said, something's got to give. So when that particular thing gives, what do you think is going to happen next? You're going to lose ease. That's what brings up disease or disease.
Right.
So when you have a disease, it's really when you feel a back pain, when you feel a finger hurt, when you feel, you know, your arm get numb. It's not your arm is the problem. The arm is the symptom. The back pain is the symptom. of a disorder in a cell. That's why you're diseased. Follow?
Yep, I'm right there with you.
So the idea is the whole thing is to treat your body from a cellular level, but we are not taught to feed our bodies from a cellular level. We are taught to feed our bodies based on taste, based on what your eye can see, based on this quote unquote experience. Oh, you just have to have it, child. It's so awesome.
Right,
You know,
right.
like one of the latest ones, gold chicken wings. I don't know what gold chicken wings are. I don't want no gold on my chicken wing. I don't care if it's fake gold. I don't want none. Anything like that on my chicken wings.
Right, right,
Right?
right.
So this is how we're socialized with food.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we're socialized with a lot of things that it's going to make you happy. For example, owning a car is going to make you happy. But owning a car, you lose money 3 ways. You're paying on something that's depreciating, right?
Right.
First and foremost. You still have to maintain it. So that's money you're maintaining the car again.
Mm-hmm.
And you spent money that you didn't have to purchase the car, aka use your credit or put a down payment on the car.
Right.
So that's 3 ways losing money, you know. But you get this car, and it's supposed to give you all this happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time they advertise a car, you're out enjoying life. Oh my God. Oh my
Right,
God. Oh my
right,
God.
right.
So fun, so fun, so fun. How much fun have you actually had in your car?
Well, it depends on who you're asking that question.
Look, if you're a NASCAR driver, it's real work, you know? But really, how many of us truly have fun inside our car? The type of fun that's advertised. The
Right.
last time you've driven to the Alps, I mean, we're in Florida. Where are we driving to? That's why when I look at these
Beach.
Florida commercials for cars, it makes no sense.
We're driving to the beach.
How
What do you
many-
mean?
How many times do you actually see them advertise a car in Florida taking you to the beach?
Clubbing,
Exactly.
restaurants.
You know, so that's why I say it makes no sense in Florida. Because it's a way of life.
Yeah.
Right? But the whole point is, so you have this car, you have this thing, you have to go to the gas station. There's fumes at the gas station.
Mm-hmm.
In certain states like New Jersey, you don't pump your gas because gasoline is seen as a hazardous material.
Right.
So you don't pump the gas. But here in Florida, you pump it yourself.
Yeah.
So then you're in the car. No, you're in the car. You're in traffic. You're in the parking lot. You're in the parking garage. You parked your car. You turned off your car, but there are 10, 20 more cars driving up and down and around and up and down and around before you get into the elevator or before you get down the stairs.
Right.
But in that same car, you just driven the last 20 minutes. You barely walk to the elevator. You take the elevator upstairs or wherever you're going. You get to your desk. You sit all day.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you're sitting all day. You don't get a chance to go to lunch. You sit in the lunchroom and eat lunch. You go sit in the toilet, eat the toilet, and then you come back out, sit again for the other half of the day, and you drive home. And when you get home, you sit down to relax. You pluck it in front of the TV. And then you get up, you sit down in front of the table to eat. And then instead of walking right after you eat, you sit back down, or worse, you got to lay down to go sleep because you have a long day ahead of you tomorrow.
Yep.
So you become very sedentary.
Mm-hmm.
So, and all this comes from the fact that you need a car because you need a job. Because you need a job to get money. But really and truthfully, what are you providing with money? Somewhere to live, something to eat, and clothes. Now, if you could provide food, clothes, and shelter without going to work, did you need a car? So you see, we've modified our life in such a way that we all think we need these things. We all think we need it. We gotta have it. But in reality, it's a reaction to what's happening, or to what we're being pushed to what we're supposed to be doing.
Right.
That's what it's being told to us, but it's not what we're supposed to be doing. You know, when people bump into indigenous people in certain areas of the world and talk about, oh, they need jobs. They don't need jobs. Leave them alone. They've been
They've been living the
living.
way that they've been living forever.
Yeah.
And here
And
comes the quote unquote civilized man that is presenting this other way of life to them.
mm,
This quote unquote better way of life.
yeah, we're here to save you. Save me from what?
Hmm.
The lions are not eating us. The snakes are not killing us because we kill them first. So when they see us, they run.
Hmm.
They're gonna eat you because you don't know what to do, and you look fresh from the city. you know.
Right.
So these things, when we see that, we're like, just leave this alone, because that natural life is what we're supposed to be living. But we're now caught in this wheel, this perpetual wheel, that you try to get off of it. People look at you like you're stupid.
Mm.
But these are the things that lead to the type of diseases that we have. Things don't run in your family. Obesity does not run in your family. Being skinny does not run in your family. If you look at the traits, there's always a trait, a pattern of food, of lifestyle that is passed down from generation to generation.
Right.
I'm not fat shaming anyone. I'm not skinny shaming anyone. But what I'm saying is, just like I saw this show once, this girl was trying to comfort the other girl that, oh, you're just big boned. And home girl turned around and said, look, bones don't jiggle, honey. So that's someone who recognizes. And the thing about it is, even me, myself, right now, I've started a cleanse process that I've been doing since, here. It's called the R3, And what I've realized is there's certain things that I've been eating that's clogging me up. For example, rice and dairy.
Mm-hmm.
Those things clog me up so much. And I learned to know also about the lymphatic system. It's a set of fluids that run through your body that makes everything move. And if you block up your system with dairy, you block up your system with rice or certain types of starches or carbs, then that fluid is not going to run well. You're not going to feel the energy you're supposed to feel. But once I started doing it, cutting out the dairy, especially milk, if I use cheese, it's not the processed cheese. I mean, I get the processed cheese, but that's the one I use, but I don't use a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sprinkle just to give me that quote-unquote taste of cheese, because the worst thing you could do to someone who's trying to adjust their lifestyle is to go cold turkey.
Right.
Some people could do it. Some people can't. You kind of have to wean yourself off of it.
Right.
And I think that works best.
I know.
For us in this... Mm-hmm.
I know. For me, in my house, it is what you don't find in my house is, you're right, rice. And when I say rice, I mean white rice. That is so rarely prepared in my house. It's amazing. For something that I grew up on, white rice is not seen in my house. You'll find brown rice, and you'll find other grains, bulgur, quinoa, couscous. You'll find these things in my house. And they're grains, just like rice. But the difference is how they're harvested and packaged. And you'd never believe something as simple as that would make such a big difference, but it does.
It does.
And milk also, dairy also.
I got to tell you something. Not because you can eat it makes it food. It doesn't. Growing up as a kid, I ate dirt. I'm not going to say, but I did eat the dirt.
I ate dirt.
The other thing I liked to eat was the chalk that the teacher had in the classroom.
I used to eat chalk. And they said you were calcium deficient when you did it.
That's what they try to tell me. But, I proved them wrong. But if anyone asks me, oh, it's strong, I'll say, oh, it's the chalk I ate in grade 2.
Right.
But when you look at the things that we're doing consistently, and when I talk about this, That's one of the reasons why, I've partnered with Melaleuca for the last, 5-6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that I've been exposed to within that company just make so much sense.
Right.
You could pay for diseases now or later, but when you pay for it later, it's going to come out with like a ton of bricks.
Yeah. It's a bigger expense at the end because, well, let's not say at the end. That sounds terminal. On the back end.
On the back end. It's and all of it is as such, and you have to trust me. Since I've been doing a lot more vegetables, in that month of doing the R3, I've dropped 8 pounds, quantified 8 pounds. And when you have a 8-year-old in your household that's very brutal and honest, and she says to you, "You look slim in that shirt," you know something's working.
Yeah.
So
I like 2 pounds a week though. That's some, you're putting in some work there, Sean.
Yeah, because each morning I commit myself to doing something in terms of walking or jogging walking. And I'm not really trying to beat no time or anything, because there's something to be said about moving consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Consistently moving and walking at least 20 minutes 4 times a week can do so much for you in terms of your weight loss.
Can change your life.
I'm telling you, it can change your life. Don't look for a quick solution. Don't look for that quick solution, because the quick solution is going to create a quicker problem. Do something that's sustainable, it's manageable, and I think that's what's accelerated what I'm doing. Plus the other thing is, Melaleuca has some wonderful shakes, and I drink 2 of those shakes each day. Because I was doing the whole tropical smoothie shake diet.
Mm-hmm.
Right. One, it was very costly. That was like $4.99 a shake. So I got
cup?
the app so that 1 cup for like 16 ounces. Or was it 20? I think it was 20.
Okay.
Let's call it 20 ounces for $4.99. And what was happening?
Call it what it is, man. $5.
It's $5. $5. But you can get $5 off or 10% off once you hit $50. So I have to have 10 shakes to get $5. So what I realized is it would take about 2 weeks or just under 3 weeks to get to that $50.
Mm-hmm.
So because I was going and I was taking a shake, I'd go in the morning, get a shake, and then in the evening after practice or before practice, I'd get another shake and stuff like that. $10 in one day on shakes.
Right.
Easy, right? You do that 3 times a week, that's $30. 2 weeks, that's $60. But then once I started using Melaleuca shakes, my cost of my shake went up to $1.49 because it's only $10 and change, or $14 for the bag of the mix, good quality mix.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes me between 45 seconds and 60 seconds once I put all the ingredients in. So, I'll add my spinach, I'll add broccoli, not all at the same time, but I'll add various things, my ginger, my turmeric, and so forth to the shake mix.
Right.
45 to 60 seconds on the machine. Didn't have to drive, join a line, or wait for somebody to call my name weird. So, or describe me as the black guy, because that's happened before. Which I am black. But in this current climate, you just don't want to use that as your primary description.
Right.
The guy in the purple shirt, or the black guy with the gold earring and the purple shirt. That's a much better description than the black guy. Right? Because it's just so impersonal. So anyways, so you start doing that, and you find that, I'm getting a better read on my blood sugar, I'm getting a better read on my blood pressure, on my cholesterol levels and so forth. Mm-hmm. So that's what it is. But this is doing it every day. It's not one day. It's not inconsistent. You have to do consistently. And that's why we talk about the compound effect, what's happening. So it's compoundly, you're eating bad food. So it's going to compound into a big problem. And once it gets to that big problem, then you have a bigger problem.
Mm-hmm.
So in the same way that you could, because sometimes, I ain't going to lie, sometimes I want to eat that chicken and rice. No lie. But then I say how much easier it is to just grab a handful of spinach, chop it up, add some mushrooms, add some scallions and stuff to it. It's way quicker than cooking the rice also.
Yeah.
Way quicker. It's a lot easier clean up also than that thing.
My lunch and dinners have been vegetables and a protein in the form of a meat kind, and it's typically either fish or chicken for me.
Mm.
That
so
has pretty much
these are
been
the
my
things
meals.
for me that's important. And if you could just realize that this is what you have to do to address the issues that you have. It's
Right.
simple. And don't buy into the idea that good food is expensive.
Well,
it really isn't.
It's either you spend a little extra to get the good food over the fast food, and again it comes back to paying more in the long run or on the back end. You get the junk food now and have whatever build up inside of you, causing whatever problems on the cellular level. And then on the back end, you have to be paying these doctors for these procedures and this medication and these machines in order to fix it. Or you can just eat better now and let your body do what it's designed to do. And on a cellular level, repair what needs to be repaired and build what needs to be built. So it's not rocket science. It's just recognition of the science.
It really isn't rocket science. But it just takes a start. And once you start doing it, it becomes easier. And that's the simplest way for me to put it. You just have to start and work it.
Right.
And don't look for a magic solution, because it didn't take you a month to gain that weight or to become diseased. Because disease is in you and it just manifests itself in different forms.
Right.
My friend who's a chiropractic neurosurgeon, he goes to the root of your problems, of your chiropractic issues. And I listened to his radio show. He's in Jamaica, Dr. Neil Gardner. I listened to his radio show once, and he says, sometimes, people turn 45, 50, 60, whatever, and all of a sudden, their knees start hurting them, their back start hurting them. And you ask them, have you ever been in a car accident? Nope. Have you ever did this? Nope, nope, nope. And it's sports injuries? Nope. And then they go home and they think about it. It's like, in grade 2, Roger, my body hurting for 2 days.
Right.
And when the person reveals this to Dr. Neil said, yeah, I saw it in your thing. Like somebody hit you or something happened. There was trauma in this area over 30 years ago. And now it's manifesting itself because you thought you were okay. So you continue living your life, doing the things that you want to do with your life. And here we are now at 45, you could barely stand straight. Because it just manifests itself now. So when you see a disease popping up on you, some diseases take a year, some takes 20, some take 30 to manifest itself. But you have to feed yourself from a cellular level and not from a stomach level. If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. It makes sense to me because this is what we've been doing for a while. Guest 318 says, I tend not to put a price on my health. I will spend a little more now to be healthier later. And you're right. Listen, if it's too cheap, it cannot be too good. That's the only way I can put it. And as you mentioned before and again, treating on a cellular level, that takes me to where I want to get to for the last half an hour of this show. It wasn't designed to be at the last half an hour, but because Sean is leaving, it's going to be. Thank you, Sean. Thank you very much, bro. We'll do this again next week. We'll pick up where we left off, or we'll just start a whole new topic. I don't know. We never really quite know sometimes. Depends on what happens and the kind of feedback. But you mentioned just now that some of the diseases really started several years back, as much as decades. And because of what we've been doing, it has been growing. And then it gets to a point where it shows. And that takes me to what I've been talking about and what was on my post, this whole vaccination thing. I have issues with vaccinations. And when we come back, we're going to talk about some of them and some of the reasons why I have issues with them. Sean, thank you again, bro. We'll catch up later on. All the best.
All right, take it easy, bro.
We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more. Call your friends, tell your friends. It's a night shift with me, DJ Kevin Stew, and that was Sean Garrity. I want to thank GMAT Music Solutions for that previous segment. Give them a call. The GMAT Music Solutions bringing music to life. 754-307-4622. That's 754-307-GMAC. That's a quick way to remember it. Give them a call. Tell them I sent you. They can hook you up with what you need for your event. Stage lighting, engineers, audio equipment. Just talk to them. They got you. We'll be right back.
The award-winning Palace Peace and Love Academic Scholarship is appealing for your support to help educate one student at a time in Jamaica and the Caribbean.
Palace awarded 492 scholarships and several computers to university and high school students in Jamaica and the Caribbean over the past 7 years, valued at approximately 33 million Jamaican dollars, $250,000 US.
Importantly, our university graduates to date include 15 medical doctors, 10 lawyers, 6 engineers, and 15 fine arts students. Our goal is to award at least 105 scholarships in 2018.
Please partner with us to make this a reality for those well-deserving, hard-working students by making a tax-deductible donation online at www.palace1.org
or send a check to Palace, P.O. Box 5461, Alpharetta, Georgia 30023 USA, or telephone 770-744-2154.
Palace, preserving young minds for posterity.
I'm in almost every school bus and classroom. You see me around the neighborhood and you tell me that I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm 1 out of every 5 children in America, and I'm struggling with hunger.
Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help.
Every dollar you donate helps provide 8 meals for kids like me. We are Feeding America, brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
It's time to get live, it's time to get lit. Spiritually powered inspirational thoughts. It's time to spit. Join Sharon Corinthian and St. Patrick every Tuesday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on 96.3 IMG Radio as they bring you poetry at its finest, featuring some of the hottest spoken word artists from around the world. It will leave you touched, moved, and inspired. Tell a friend to tell a friend and join us for the show.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless. When being in the moment is
Yes. Sakar Mantino, I'm making notes right now. You are locked in to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift.
Turn my mic up real quick. Turn it up. Everybody wants to be delivered and be forgiven. It's so easy. All you gotta do is trust in Jesus and be a believer and know that He sees and He's pleased when you're falling to your knees. Know your life will be a breeze. Just let go, never fear. God is here, no more pain you'll have to bear, and He'll wipe away your tears. So you know. They say under the blood, say you're covered. Hope you know everywhere you go, say you're covered by the blood. And when you're walking, you have to let the world know. Day or night, say you're covered by the blood. Say under the blood, say you're covered. Hope you know everywhere you go, say you're covered by the blood. And when you're walking, you have to let the world know. Day or night, say you're covered by the blood.
So, I just want to real quick remind everybody that you can expand your reach and you can do it with advertising. So just before the summer special ends, I want you all to capitalize on this. 60-second ads, song distribution if you're a musician, interviews if you have a business, all this. $125 a week. Can you beat that anywhere? Rockthebox.net is offering this special. It's about to be over, so you want to jump on this real quick. $125 a week. Go ahead and contact them. 954-613-3851. Or you can get in touch through JTMC Enterprise LLC at gmail.com. This is the sound of Dale Brown and Truth. Dale Brown was in South Florida, in Fort Lauderdale this past weekend. His last appearance in South Florida for the year. I heard that was an excellent time. This is Dale Brown and Truth. It's called Covered.
Everybody wants to be delivered and be forgiven. It's so easy. All you gotta do is trust in Jesus and be a believer. And know that He sees and He's pleased when you're falling to your knees. Know your life will be a breeze. Just let go.
You have a great night too, 463.
God is here. No more pain you'll have to bear.
Definitely taking some time to hashtag find my happy.
You know. They say under the blood, say you're covered. Hope you know everywhere you go, say you're covered by the blood. And when you're walking, you have to let the world know. Day or night, say you're covered by the blood. Say under the blood, say you're covered. Hope you know everywhere you go, say you're covered by the blood. And when you're walking, you have to let the world know. Day or night, say you're covered by the blood. Can't save ya. See me God, you can't walk over. And even though me not deserve no redeemer, Him still a cover me with peace and favor. So me no serve no pure savior. See me God, you can't walk over. And even though me not deserve no redeemer, him still a cover me with peace and favor. Papa Jesus say under the blood say you're covered. Hope you know everywhere you go say you're covered by the blood. And when you're walking you have to let the world know day or night say you're covered by the blood. Under the blood say you're covered. Hope you know everywhere you go say you're covered
by all means. 513 got you covered.
Day or night say you're covered. Come in and serve blood can't save ya. See me God you can't walk over. And even though me not deserve no redeem,
and if you're wondering,
cover me with peace and favor.
You're not Jamaican,
say under the blood say you're covered,
or even have a little bit of Jamaican in you,
say you're covered.
Pian pian is a real word.
Walking you have to let the world know day or night say you're covered by the blood.
Yeah, you got to be covered. How do you spell that? Just like that lady song. Pia pia. Well, it's actually spelled with a W, because it's not really pia, it's pia. So it's P-Y-A-W. No, pia savior. Okay, cool. You know what it means, right? No, mediocre. Okay, yeah, but mediocre doesn't work in the lyrics, so you have to go with pia. All right. So, vaccines. Vaccines have been a sore point for me for a very long time, ever since I started getting them. And yeah, no pun intended. Yes, all pun intended, not playing with them. But more and more, we're realizing, or science is realizing, that vaccines have been the source of some issues, but they haven't really been admitting it. For whatever reason, they've not been admitting to it. And the conspiracy theorist in me always says, follow the money trail. Because Big Pharma is connected with the vaccines because somebody has to push it. Big Pharma is also connected with the disease-causing agents, like additives and fertilizers. So here now you have this whole tangled web of lies and deceit, and everybody gets to pay and a few people get to benefit. That's pretty much what happens, as to how I reason it out. And again, it's just my conspiracy theorist mind at work, or maybe it's just information, like the fact that vaccines contain ingredients like nagalase, squalene, polysorbate 80, glyphosate, E. coli, monosodium glutamate, MSG, antifreeze, phenol, formaldehyde, aluminum, glycerin, lead, cadmium, sulfates, yeast proteins, antibiotics, acetone, neomycin, streptomycin. Did I leave anything out? Probably not. All these things. And thimerosal. Now, if you don't know what thimerosal is, it is more toxic than mercury. And it's a preservative that is used in a lot of vaccines. And it is not easily eliminated, and it can cause severe, and that's a very big can. It can cause severe neurological damage, as well as other life-threatening autoimmune diseases. And all of these vaccines are grown and strained through animal or human tissue. like in monkeys and dog kidney tissue, chicken embryos, insect cells, calf serum, human diploid cells. Those are the dissected organs of aborted fetuses. Pig blood, horse blood, and rabbit brain. Yeah, way too many icings, right? But these are the things that we are encouraged to put into our bodies. And one of the debates when I started having the discussion about vaccinations with my then chiropractor 10 years ago, it was a discussion about the connection with vaccinations to autism. And funny enough, today, there was a new release that the CDC had brand new statistics out, that 1 out of every 36 children in the US has autism. And that sounds like a really small number. Yes, because it is. That information is not new. That information, the CDC had realized it back in 2016. It's just that here it is that they're releasing that information, new information coming out. But let's take a look back at where this is coming from. Back in 1980, the amount of US children with autism was 1 in 10,000. In 2002, it was 1 in 250. In 2008, it was 1 in 88. See the trend? In 2013, it was 1 in 50. And the most recent count was in 2016, where they say it's 1 in 36. Now, a part of the numbers as they're being reported is said to be contributed to the fact that more people are giving information. They're saying that it's not because of increased incidence of autism, but more people are coming forth presenting their information and getting diagnosed. But I don't know. I really don't know. They said the rate in 2013 was 1 out of 50. And in 2008, like I said, 1 in 88. This information really should be headline news. But the corporate-sponsored mainstream media has been silent on this information. Because you didn't hear it anywhere else, have you? I know I didn't hear it anywhere else. I did my research and came across this information. MIT researcher Dr. Stephanie Seneff has stated that given current trends, by the year 2025, half of all children will be diagnosed with autism. My question is, what is the common denominator here? What is that thing that all these kids are exposed to that could possibly cause autism? And it comes back to that vaccination thing. All these kids have to be vaccinated. If the CDC releases information in a more timely manner, we would be a lot more informed about diseases. Yes, we would. But how does that benefit the companies that have to have their pockets lined. And it's, when I say the companies, I mean the individuals running these companies, because the company itself doesn't really care. It's just the individuals who stand to benefit. So, what's the benefit in releasing information early? No financial benefit. There's a health benefit. But health does not translate to making money. Not in this country, anyway. And when I say this country, I mean the US. The money is made from being sick. That's why wellness companies are not popular. As in, they're frowned upon. They're becoming more popular because people are wising up. But not everybody is. And that's one of the reasons I do this show. Because some of this information, I believe someone needs to hear it. And there may be somebody that, one of you that are listening right now, you may know someone that needs to get this kind of information. So don't be selfish. Tell them about it. Tell them that they could actually do the same research that I did and find the information. Now, to break down the data supplied by the CDC, there is a little group called VAXXED, VAXXED. And they turned to Dr. Brian Hooker. And he's perhaps the most knowledgeable person in the world regarding the CDC and the data that they have compiled regarding vaccines and autism. He is the father of a vaccine-injured child and is a PhD researcher. He has fought against the CDC for more than 14 years, using the Freedom of Information Act to try and gather as much data as he could from the studies that the CDC has published that claim there is no link between vaccines and autism. He has submitted much of the results of his own investigations of the CDC data on vaccines and autism to Congress. And Congressman Bill Posey has assisted him in forcing the CDC to comply with as many of these requests. Now, in the chat, someone posted they have their own agenda and think they're doing the public a favor by releasing the information. Well, it's too little, too late. And playing devil's advocate, they could say it's better late than never, because there's still hope for recovery. But they're banking on that hope for recovery so that they can sell drugs, medication that's needed to prolong the situation, because they're not selling these drugs or designing them to deal with the root issue. They're being distributed to deal with the symptoms. So the root still remains. And as long as the root remains, then the symptoms will come back and you'll have to go back and purchase more. That could be the conspiracy theorist in me. Or it could be actually what is happening. But you won't know unless you do your own research now, will you? I can only present you with so much information. It took some time for congressional pressure from Congressman Bill Posey to get the information. Shortly after, one of the top vaccine scientists at the CDC contacted him to become a whistleblower regarding vaccine research fraud. The story of this scientist, the CDC whistleblower, is featured in the film VAXXED, Vaxxed. Now, there's an interview from December 5, 2017, where Dr. Hooker discusses the new report issued by the CDC that covers the current rate of autism and explains how the CDC has downplayed the significance of the data in the report. Does that strike you as strange? Anybody who has lived in the US for any given time must know that it isn't that strange. What about those who have already paid the ultimate price? Well, they have already paid it. Big Pharma is benefiting from them. And I'm assuming that the ultimate price is contracting some sort of disease, or not contracting it, but the manifestation of. So they've already paid the price, and this Big Pharma is already collecting because they have to buy the drugs. They have to pay for the treatments. So Dr. Hooker gives alarming news that the CDC numbers are actually too low, and that the real rate of autism is much higher. That's not hard to believe either. But unless you go out looking for some of this information, you're not going to come across it. Some quick facts for you about additives that are used in the production of vaccines. You may come across things like suspending fluid, like, for example, sterile water, saline, or fluids containing protein. You have preservatives and stabilizers to help the vaccine remain unchanged, like albumin and phenols and glycerin and glycine, not glycerin but glycine, and adjuvants and or enhancers, which help the vaccine to be more effective. Common substances include aluminum, gels or salts of aluminum, which are added as adjuvants to help the vaccine stimulate a better response. Now, is it a more favorable response? We're not too sure. Adjuvants help promote an earlier, more potent response and more persistent immune response to the vaccine. Antibiotics, which are added to some vaccines to prevent the growth of germs or bacteria during production and storage of the vaccine. And no vaccine produced in the United States contains penicillin. Just to put that out there. Excuse me. Egg protein is found in yellow fever and most influenza vaccines, which are prepared using chicken eggs, and ordinarily persons who are able to eat eggs or egg products can receive these vaccines. But if you have egg allergies, watch out. Formaldehyde. Now, do you know what formaldehyde is? In the case of vaccinations, it is used to as a toxoid, I should say, not a taxoid, but a toxoid. And these are vaccines that use an inactive bacterial toxin to produce immunity. It is used to kill unwanted viruses and bacteria that might contaminate the vaccine during production. Most formaldehyde is removed from the vaccine before it is packaged. Most, not all. But formaldehyde is also known as embalming fluid. Do you want that in your system while you're alive? MSG and 2-phenyl ethanol. This is used when they're used as stabilizers in a few vaccines to help the vaccine remain unchanged when it is exposed to heat or light or acidity or humidity. MSG, monosodium glutamate, and thimerosal. Yeah. Mercury containing preservative that is added to vials of vaccines that contain more than one dose to prevent contamination and growth of potentially harmful bacteria. It's more potent than mercury. Thimerosal. And for children with a prior history of allergic reactions to any of these, parents are required to consult their physicians. Here's what I say. Question your physician anyway. Ask them about these vaccines. Ask them about the issues that have been recorded or reported as a result of these vaccines. And of course, the doctor's position is going to be there's nothing conclusive, or it's just some people stirring up trouble. But you have a right to ask. As a parent, as an individual, you have the right to ask. Don't give up that right. Because when you do, people suffer. Literally.
Man will have a turn to make his own decision and to practice what him learn. Check your heart and note every day you walk this earth. Remember life is given, make a difference in this world. Awake from your slumber. Awake, Israelite, recall your maker. Who gives to every man his portion. The choice is yours to move on forward. Rise up and try your road. No make nobody stop you now. Rise up. Zion's gates are yours. Zion. Destiny is ours. Oh. Rise up and try your road. Rise up. No make nobody stop you now. Rise up. Zion's gates are yours. Zion.
Here's a little bit of information for you. And if you don't believe me, you can look it up. The FDA has announced that vaccines are causing autism. This is in a report that was published July 2. That's this year, the 2nd of July, 2018. Search for it.
Who gives to every man his portion? The choice is yours to move on.
This is the sound of Christina Alicia. The track is called Rise Up.
Stop you now. Rise up. Zion's gates are yours. Zion. Destiny is ours. So rise up and try your own. Rise up. No make nobody stop you now. Rise up. Zion's gates are yours. Zion. Destiny is ours. Every man will have a lesson. Every man will have a turn to make his own decision and to practice what him learn. Check your heart and notice every day you walk this earth. Remember life is given, make a difference in this world. Awake from your slumber, yeah. Awake, Israelite, recall your maker. Who gives to every man his portion. The choice is yours to move on forward. Rise up and try your own. Rise up, no make nobody stop you. Rise up, Zion's gates are yours. Zion, destiny is ours.
want to thank JTMC Enterprises for the previous segment. This segment here is our musical therapy, and it is brought to you courtesy of the Wake Up and Live show. Sir Rockwell brings us the Wake Up and Live show tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Rockthebox.net. Tomorrow he brings us at 11 a.m. What is reggae music?
Because the time you don't wait, your time is wasting. We work hard until the sun goes down. And when the sun goes down, it's round for round. Yeah, no watch, no fears. Keep up the fears. While from the stress of life we liberate. Yeah, we've only got one life to live, so go and live. Give everything all you got and never hold back. There'll be ups and downs, yeah, we'll do wrong and right. At the end of the day, make sure you live your life. Make sure you live your life.
Don't waste time watching another's life. Live yours to the fullest, enjoy your life. Live every day like it's a day in paradise. Let nothing take away your joy, don't be uptight. Everyone is yearning for that feeling from being totally free. So much time, so much time, so much time to spend on gaining the world while missing out on life.
We've only got one life to live, so go and live. Give everything all you got and never hold back. There'll be ups and downs, yeah, we'll do wrong and right. At the end of the day, make sure you live your life. We've only got one life to live, so go and live. Give everything all you got and never hold back. There'll be ups and downs, yeah, we'll do wrong and right. At the end of the day, make sure you live your life.
This is the Easy Skanking Road Tricks remix. This is our musical therapy. This is Scales.
Make you ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body.
It's called Shake Body.
Them girls just they feel me now. Cause I get some money, then they feel me now. But then they do me anyhow. I don't get some money, they wanna get down. They want hold me for ransom. Cause I'm young and I'm rich and I'm handsome. They want know where I come from. I they run since from Lagos to London. All the blessings and love I they see just they make me they shout hallelujah. I say all the blessings and love I they see just they make me they shout hallelujah. They hold me for ransom. Cause I'm young and I'm rich and I'm handsome. They want hold me for ransom. Cause I'm young and I'm rich and I'm handsome. Oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body. Décalema, sagacité, équilibré, farotema, décalé, décalé, cricata, 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 pam, pam. So mundo, calopere, calopere, calopere.
Giving you a little Afro beat tonight.
They shout hallelujah. I say all the blessings and love I they see just they make me they shout hallelujah. They hold me for ransom cause I'm young and I'm rich and I'm handsome. They won't hold me for ransom cause I'm young and I'm rich and I'm handsome. Oh yeah, shake body. Do you understand the formula? Do you understand the formula? Oh yeah, move body. Do you understand the formula? Make you ring alarm. Do you understand the formula? Oh yeah, shake body. Do you understand the formula?
This is Marvin's, Don Jazzy, Ricardo Banks, Isha, and Corrido. It's called Adobe.
Dancing.
15 minutes to the top of the hour. I just love this little tune right here.
I said, listen, boy, I'm
13 minutes to the top of the hour.
Me, I drink pine and ginger. And mommy, if I wine, penalty, I'm gonna play that. Me, I drink pine and ginger. And mommy, if I wine, penalty, I'm gonna play that. I'm off the rim and
I'm in the K Frost, tessellated valleys. It's called Pine and Ginger.
Me, I drink pine and ginger. And mommy, if I wine, penalty, I'm gonna play that. And I drink pine and ginger. And mommy, if I wine, penalty, I'm gonna play that. I'm off the rim and out of sorrow. Guess I'm not going sorrow. I guess I'm not care about tomorrow. I guess I'm not care about tomorrow.
She have the pine with the ginger. Spliff like time, girl, I get injured. Miss right wine, never you linger. Move quick like Jackie Chan ninja. When me in ya, me tell her if you wine panny, wine panny, wine panny thing. Climb for the, climb for the, climb for the king. But I know me, I sing me, I pray she no move from my drink. She a say,
Fine and ginger. You want me for wine panny thing, and I play that. Me I drink fine and ginger. You want me for wine panny thing, and I play that. Them up the room, me not the star. Guess in my drink wine for. Guess in my care about tomorrow. Guess in my care about tomorrow.
This is on a Jesse Royal featuring Natarico. It's called Full Moon.
And she said, full moon, and the tide is rising. I'll see you soon. Right now it's reserved for dances. A full moon, and the tide is rising. I'll see you soon. Right now it's reserved for dances.
Coming out of Jamaica's independence yesterday.
It's a great destination. I said, would you agree?
This is Korik.
Vacation with someone like me.
Track called Let's Do It in Jamaica. 9 minutes till the top of the hour.
Let's do it in Jamaica.
Yeah, let's.
Where the summer sun is always shining. Happy people always smiling. You'll see. Let's do it in Jamaica. Hey, the nicest place to get away. And we have summer every day. Trust me. Let's do it in Jamaica. That's where all the fun is, baby. Feel free to get wild and crazy, or just relax and be lazy. She's me say whatever you want, whatever you need, it's alright with me. Even if you want to try on the trees, baby. Let's do it in Jamaica, hey, where the summer sun is always shining. Happy people always smiling. You'll see. Let's do it in Jamaica, hey, perfect place to get away. And we have summer every day, trust me. Let's do it in Jamaica.
Oh, Kevin, you're so good. Music just changes.
New music coming at you from Wild Tree. Featuring the one and only Annette Brissett. The track is called If I Didn't Know Any Better.
This is just a customary feeling. The moon is our deceiver that will leave you running blind. Your heart is pulling. If I didn't know any better, I'd be falling. Look in the eyes of the one that I would be drawn to. I'm a moth lost in the fire. I know this is just a beautiful illusion, a case of the confusion between love and desire. Your heart is pulling. If I didn't know any better, I'd be falling deeper and deeper. It's true. I hear you calling. If I didn't know any better, and I'd be in love when the flame burned down and said, I can hear you, baby, calling, and you forget I ever came around. The same old story you're telling me wouldn't even change it a little. You must really think that I'm a fool.
This is the sound of Henry.
Flat, you ran out of gas.
A track called Liar.
Again, you've got some nerve. What is wrong with you? You're a liar. That's why
I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight.
stop knocking my door. Oh, deceiver. You had it good, but now I'm done.
I will be back tomorrow to close out the night shift week. Real Talk Wednesday coming at you tomorrow.
You almost convinced me I was the problem. I got accustomed to being late. Damn if I do, damn if I don't. I picked up the pieces though. I put me back together. Forget we met, don't mention my name. 'Cause you're a liar. That's why your keys don't work anymore. Stop knocking my door. Oh, deceiver. Ooh, you had it good, but now I'm done. 'Cause I found someone who loves me better. You're a liar. You're such a liar. Hey babe, you know I really want you close to me. Yeah, I like the way you feel.
Yeah, I want to be close to you too.
We're gonna lay it on
This is how I'm gonna bounce out of here.
bright and early 'cause
Son of the one and only Miss Joanna Marie.
and I know that you're ready. Let us lay it on.
The much loved, the passive aggressive tune.
Now that we are
Hush, darling.
in the groove. I miss a hush, darling.
This is Joanna Marie, and it's all about DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. You feel for some stew? Check out Kevin Stew.
Hey babe, you know I really want you close to me.
Only if you feel for some stew.
I like the way you feel. Hush, we're gonna lay it on bright and early 'cause the heat is on. Yeah. And I know that you're ready. Let us lay it on now. Now that we are moving in the groove.
Catch y'all tomorrow. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world.
Even if it hurts to cry.
If you're here, good night.
Cause I'm not gonna tell you why. Hush, darling. Hush, cause after the storm there'll be a calm. Yeah. And I will keep you warm, darling. Hey baby.
moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.